Hi there, English 101 students. This is your professor, Michael Bloomingberg. Hope the first week of the semester is treating you well, and hopefully you've had a chance to check out the syllabus video. I just added that into the syllabus tab on Blackboard. So this particular video is concerned with a couple of different things. First of all, we'll take a quick look at the layout of the course, including how the tabs function. So we'll spend just a couple minutes doing that. Then we'll go into course content and we'll take a look there at week one and just kind of what I'm looking for you to do there. So I'm going to go ahead and lower myself out of the video at this point. And so what I want to do is just kind of walk through the functions of our Blackboard page. So as you can see, everything layout-wise is in the corner. And the first thing that you will always land in when you log into our class is the announcement page. Now, so far you'll notice that there's one announcement that's been added. There will be more announcements added as we go along. In fact, I anticipate that I'll add another announcement probably this week. And so just be sure to check those out. I try not to overwhelm you with them, but I do want to keep you up to speed on what's happening each week in our class. And the announcements area is the best place to do that. I just clicked on Start Here, the second tab, and what you'll find on Start Here is a personal welcome to English 101. There's a Meet the Professor section, which is essentially the same introduction that I've posted in the discussion board on the class introductions. My contact information is listed, so I'll give you the opportunity to look at that. Civility code, please read that carefully. We just want to make sure we avoid using racist, sexist, or other negative language that may unnecessarily exclude members of our classroom community. This is especially true when you're using the discussion board, which is going to be our primary communication tool in the class. There's information on how to download Microsoft Office for free. There's minimum tech requirements so that you can check that. There's accessibility statements on course technologies, so you can look at those as well. There's tutorials for students, including how to take a test, submit an assignment, use the discussion boards. Learner-supported links, be sure to check those out. And Blackboard mobile app, if you're interested in getting that for your mobile device. Once you take a look at all that information, you're pretty much ready to start the class. Now, the syllabus is the third tab, and I'm in the process of adding a syllabus video. As of the making of this video, it'll already be on there by the time you view this video. So do check out the syllabus video. I think it'll help you understand what is expected from you in terms of the syllabus. Discussion board, if you click there, you will see that there are two discussions so far for week one. One's concerning class introductions. The other concerns the first reading assignment of the term, which is Naomi Klein's From No Logo. There's also an Ask Mr. Bloomingberg section that you could check out for the class. If you have any questions, post there. It might be better to email me, though, if it's a question that you don't want the rest of the class to see. But if you have a general question, feel free to do that. There's also a course chat room. We might use that from time to time in the class to do some extracurricular type things. All right, the most important area that I want to draw your attention to is course content. So our class each week on Monday morning, you will note that the assignments for each week will be added in. And so since this is week one, you'll see week one is the first area so far. And if you click it, this video will be added into this section once the video is complete. But you'll see that there's a week one coursework sheet, Naomi Klein's From No Logo folder, a link to the discussion board. Now you can use that link in the week one folder, or if you just want to use the link on the side navigation, they're one and the same, so either way you want to do it. And there is a quiz concerning No Logo. So if you take a look at the week one coursework sheet, you will see that the readings include From No Logo, and that is provided to you as a PDF. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment. The quiz we've already mentioned, and you have two discussion board assignments. Note your due dates very carefully for each one. Since this is week 1, you do not want to be recorded as a no-show. So you need to make sure you get all of your work completed by June 23rd. That's Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And I made note of the no-show policy also at the end of the coursework sheet. So suffice to say, each week when you go into your weekly folder, start with the coursework sheet, because that always lays out very simply all the tasks that you need to do for the week. Then the next folder is the Naomi Klein's from No Logo. Here, the first link you'll find is just the PDF link to the reading. You can rotate that thing, by the way. You can read it online, and it's up to you if you want to do it that way. You just might want to take some notes as you go. I do apologize because some of my notes transferred over as I photocopied the PDF. So I would encourage you to make sure to make your own notes. You can print this out, of course, if you have a printer and the available ink and paper. That might be good. And I'm not usually a big fan of reading things online, even though I do my grading online. It's a different story. But reading purposes, I'm kind of old school. I like to print my stuff and look at it that way. There's also notes that I've provided for you, along with the class theme. And this theme just means that it's a motto that we're looking to embrace in the class. It comes from Stephen King, who's primarily known as the horror guy. It says, if you want to be a writer, you must do 2 things above all others: read a lot and write a lot. And I've also put some notes about academic writing, since that's what we're concerned with in English 101. It's what scholars do to communicate with other scholars in their fields of study. And habits of the mind is really what academic writing is all about. That's the patterns of thought that lead you to question assumptions and opinions. And it's okay if you don't change your assumption or opinion, but you've got to question it to make sure you're on the right track. That's what academic writing is all about. Along with critical thinking, that's the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment. If you compare like setting up dominoes, and you knock the dominoes over and they zigzag into patterns, how does the first domino affect the second domino? And so on and so forth. That's critical thinking, and I think that's really important to consider in all facets of life, whether you're getting married, having children, starting a career, buying a house, buying a car, relocating to a different state or city. Those are all things that have to be considered. Now, I know you can read the notes that I've placed about Klein from No Logo, so please look those over. I put some biographical notes at the front along with the picture of Klein. She is alive, and she's relatively young too, so we don't see that a lot in assigned readings at the college level. Oftentimes it's from people who may have been dead for a number of years, but she's alive. So look it over. The notes are listed there for you. And I just kind of put a question challenge of what is the main idea of No Logo. Main idea in writing is referred to as thesis, and thesis statement is something we're going to work on as we get into week 2 as well. All right, so I'm not going to pull it up, but there's also a logo challenge. See how many you can identify, and know that the cheat name's on the bottom so you can check your answers. Have fun with that. And it's kind of like the logo game if you ever played that app. But it gives you a good idea of how branded you are. And I've got to admit that I'm a pretty branded person. Discussion board we've already talked about, I guess. But there's a class introduction, as well as some work to consider, questions to consider from Naomi Klein's from No Logo. Please remember on your discussions that you're not only addressing the things that I'm asking you, but you also need to go back and post a lengthy reply to at least one classmate. They have to be 100 words in length, both postings. But if you want to split your replies to include more than one classmate, feel free to do that if that'll help you reach your word count, as long as you get your 100 words. The quiz consists of 5 questions. There's only one attempt at that quiz, so please make sure you're ready for that. when the time comes and you can log on and take that quiz. It is timed. As a matter of fact, when you click, you'll note that you have 10 minutes. So it's going to be kind of hard to flip through the article to find your answers. So you really need to be prepared to answer questions ahead of time. So study the article very carefully, and I think you'll have the opportunity to do pretty well. That's what's expected from week 1. The only other things I wanted to mention, I'm not going to click on it because I'm not a student in the class, so it's going to read as an error. But my grades, you are a student, obviously, in the class. So when you click my grades, it will show you at any given time where you stand in the class. You just need to look at your weighted total. So like a 0.9278 would be a 92. Actually, you could round that up to a 93, which would give you an A. A 0.7514 would be a 75. That's a C. So just get well versed with reading your weighted total, and I think you'll find that pretty easy to do. Now, most of the work is not auto-graded in the class. I have to actually go in and review your work and grade it. So please be patient with me. I'm going to try to get things reviewed and scored as quickly as possible, but I am human. It does take a little bit of time to do that. And we do have a rather large class. So I appreciate your patience, and I'll get your grades uploaded as soon as possible. There's an email Mr. Bloomingberg link. This is the last thing I'll mention. If you click it, it's just a direct link so that you can email me. And when you email me, by the way, this summer, I am out of the office for the summer. So you'll get an automatic response back that will be the auto reply that I've set up. But please don't think that that's all you're going to get, because as my summer students, I will respond to each and every email. Please give me 24 to 48 hours to respond, but rest assured that I will answer all emails that you have. In the subject line, you just might want to put English 101 question, and then in the message, just a Dear Mr. Bloomingberg, and then begin your question. And also make sure to sign off with your name at the end. If you click submit, that'll obviously send it to me. So I'm going to go back. And I'm going to bring myself, I think, back up on the screen here. This was a lot of information, but hopefully you find it helpful. If you have any questions about anything, just feel free to email me. Again, that's the best way to contact me. Good luck in week 1, and we'll pick up the pace even as we move into week 2 next week. Good luck, and again, if you have any questions, just feel free to email me. Take care.